Yo, what is up, guys? It's Pedro here. So, the Washington Commanders have signed former Kansas City Chiefs wide receiver Marcus Kemp. Eric Bieniemy is able to bring in a familiar face. We're going to discuss that, but if you guys are new, make sure to subscribe for Washington and NFL content. It's free. It takes 1 second. Just hit that button. Take a chance on me. You will not regret it. Also hit that like button and the notification bell as well. It helps out a ton. So this isn't a major signing or anything, but it is kind of the first outside signing they've had this offseason. They did, they did extend a couple players like Jonathan Williams, David Mayo, Nathan Gary, but besides that, they really haven't signed anyone, and this is the first guy they did, and it was someone that Eric Bieniemy has had a connection with, and I guess still has the connection. So I'll read this tweet from Kemp. He says, Washington signed former Chiefs wide receiver Marcus Kemp, primarily a special teams player, gives Bieniemy someone in the room familiar with the offense, and that is something that you definitely want, someone that can help these young players and veterans as well pick up the offense. Definitely something that is beneficial and might just be a camp body. Maybe he'll make the roster. He's not going to be a contributor this year. At most at special teams. We're going to get into that in a second. He's 27 years old, spent most of his career in Kansas City with Eric Bieniemy, and then Sam Fortier says, I imagine he'll help spread the new OC's message in the locker room and contribute on special teams. And then that kind of brings up the question, well, if Marcus Kemp is being brought in, what happens to Cam Sims? Because Cam Sims, especially last year, didn't really have much of a role in the offense, but was a special teams guy. And now that you bring in Marcus Kemp, that likely eliminates Cam Sims's, ends Cam Sims's time in DC. They're both they're both the same age, 27 years old, both around the same height. Kemp at 6'4", Sims at 6'5". Both play receiver but contribute mostly on special teams. The difference, Kemp played for Bieniemy in Kansas City. Sims did not. And Kemp is under contract and Sims is not. Sims is a free agent. So, although I think Cam Sims is a better player, it looks like Kemp is the one he is already on the roster. Now, I doubt Cam Sims stays on the roster, and that's fine. New OC wants to bring in his own guys, and that is totally fine. And who knows, Cam Sims still might come back. But I think if you're Cam Sims, you've kind of seen what's happened the last 2 years, and you might want to be like, okay, let me go find a new team, and maybe I can actually play on offense. But stats on Marcus Kemp, he's 6'4", 210 pounds, went to Hawaii for college. He's played about 5 years in the NFL. Really contributed nothing on offense. If you look at it, played in a few games this year. Did play in the Super Bowl, and I'll get into a play that he helped make there. But in 2021, had 2 catches for 24 yards and 1 first down. In 2020, 1 catch for 11 yards. And then in 2018, had 1 catch for 7 yards. So in 6 years, 1 year with the Dolphins, 5 years with the Chiefs, he has a total of 42 receiving yards. So even if he has a little bit of an expanded role here, he's not gonna be an impact player on offense. Let's keep it real. He's not gonna be an impact player on offense. But special teams, on the other hand, is something that he could do. 18 tackles during his career as in the NFL as a special teams guy. Some years didn't play much. 2017, 2020 only played 1 game each, and then this year only played 3 games, but did have some nice blocks in the Super Bowl. And the Kadarius Toney big return that set the record for longest punt return in the Super Bowl. He had some really nice blocks. If you go watch it, number 85 did a really good job on a couple of blocks. Probably got Toney an extra 10 yards there. So that was a good play by him. And that's what he's going to do here in Washington. He's going to be a special teams player. And that's if he makes the roster. We already know the guys that will make the roster in Terry McLaurin, Jahan Dotson, Curtis Samuel. That's 3 guaranteed to make the roster. You add Bieniemy Brown, that's probably 5. Bieniemy Brown's going to make it unless maybe they trade him. But I think Bieniemy Brown is making the team and might have a little bit more of an impact this year because Sam Howell's there. So that's 4 that are already going to make it. And then it's into those like, okay, maybe Dax Milne and then Marcus Kemp. I could see him making it as a special teams guy. And, Dax Milne, I think, will probably make it again. It really depends, though, what Eric Bieniemy wants to do. Does he want to bring in his own guys? And he's already brought in one guy, but I could see the receiver room look like Terry, Jahan, Curtis, Bieniemy, and then Marcus Kemp and Dax Milne. I could see that for sure, have those 6 guys. The depth isn't great, but you do have Bieniemy, who, your top 3 are great. And then after that, I guess you do have Bieniemy, who can come in and contribute for you if someone's down, which he did last year or this past season especially in that Titans game. And I think he'll have an increased role with Sam Howell out there. And then, Marcus Kemp, maybe Dax Milne, and maybe one other receiver that they either draft or sign. Maybe they bring in McCole Hardman. I would not mind it at all. I just don't know if he wants to come here because he's not going to have a huge role. But we could guarantee him the punt returner and kick returner spot and tell him, okay, you can compete for the 4th receiver spot, maybe even get to number 3. Again, though, he probably wants to compete for that number 2 spot, and he's not getting that in DC. And that's kind of it on the news. Kemp, he's not a roster lock. He's going to be competing for a spot on this roster as a special teams guy, which Cam Sims, was good at. And really the only difference between the two is maybe Kemp's going to be way, less of an impact on offense, but he's going to be able to help implement the game plan and the offense to these, especially these receivers, but some of the other offensive players as well. So that's kind of it on Marcus Kemp. It doesn't necessarily close the door on Cam Sims, but it makes it much less likely that Cam Sims comes back. I'll probably give it a 30% chance, maybe a 25% chance. And I think it makes sense for both sides to move on. Like I would bring back Cam Sims, but honestly at this point, let Cam Sims go somewhere else. He deserves a little bit more of a role on offense, and he's not going to get that here. So that is it for today's video. Hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, hit that like button, subscribe. If you guys new, posted a couple videos yesterday. One was going over the cap space situation, so I'd really encourage you guys to go ahead and watch that, because over the last few days we've had some different cap moves that have affected the cap. This one won't affect it too much. And then also posted a little bit, a short video of Darius Slay talking about Terry McLaurin and how he ranked the top 5 hardest receivers he's faced. And spoiler alert, Terry McLaurin was really high up on that list. Not number 1, but he was 2 behind Justin Jefferson. Just go watch that really insightful video. So if you guys enjoyed, hit that like button. We'll probably be streaming tomorrow. Not sure with who and when, but probably later in the afternoon, like 6, 7 o'clock. Thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed, and peace.